Hello and welcome, Chef Pennington here. Today we're going to do baked teriyaki salmon, which is just wonderful. Salmon's one of the types of fishes that can take a lot of flavor and it still preserves the flavor of the fish, and teriyaki is the perfect answer for throwing flavor at it. We're going to use a lot of fresh ingredients here. Overall, this meal is fairly inexpensive. We're going to use some chef plating tips. It's going to be cool. I'm going to show you all how to make quinoa very easily. I love that. Quinoa is super good for you. And we're going to make an avocado crema, which is also very easy. And we're going to cover some cool plating tips. So removing the skin. Some people like it on, some people like it off. There's a lot of omega-3 fatty acids in the skin itself. It also helps protect the fish while it cooks and can easily be removed after cooking. But removing it beforehand takes a true culinary skill. And that's what we're going to do right here. So there's a seam between the actual fillet itself and the skin. And we're just going to get the knife in there. One of the tricks is making long knife slices. We're not doing little jagged motions back and forth. That makes it very safe. And the skin's very thick. The knife does not want to cut through the skin, which is the reason this works so easily. So we're creating a little seam there that's going to allow us to get our paper towel in there. And we're going to lay it back down on the board. And we're going to angle the knife back towards the skin. And we're just going to go back and forth, and it's going to come off that easy, and we're going to be done. And it's coming off in one full piece, which is very cool. So if you don't like the skin, there you go. Often you can ask the fishmonger at your grocery store to remove it for you. So either way, it's a good tip to know. It's not a big one, but it's good to know. So quinoa. Quinoa is a superfood, if y'all didn't know. It's very popular these days. It comes in a number of different colors. And it is a whole protein because it has all 9 amino acids, and that's how it becomes a superfood, meaning that you could live off of it because it's protein. You have to have protein to live. Got a little bit of shallot in there and a little bit of lemon zest. I like to just pull 2 long pieces of the lemon zest off, and we're going to remove it afterwards. It's going to create flavor. It's going to become floral for us. Now, one thing when you're cooking quinoa is you do not want to ever add any oil to it, or it's going to come out very odd texture. So we're doing that first. We're putting it off to the side. We're multitasking. This is all going to come together fairly quickly, which is great. So the picture might have looked like there's a lot going on. Not really. It's just we're using our time well here. So we're getting 2 avocados into a food processor, which is going to create a very consistent texture once we blend everything together. And avocados is another superfood, which we know is super good for us because of all the healthy fats in it. So here's something to identify. See that little green piece? That's no good. It's bitter. You'll find that in the garlic also. So please don't use that in your food because it can pretty much ruin a dish when you did everything right. And it's just like, what's that flavor in there? And that would be the answer often. So we want to chop this up before we put in the food processor because there's a good chance there could still be little pieces there. So we're giving the food processor some help, which is a great idea. This is a serrano. I like serranos a lot. They have more flavor than jalapenos. If you use this bottom portion of it, it's not as spicy as the top portion because it doesn't have really the rib and the seed in it. And we cut that up a little bit too. Half of one lime. If your lime isn't very juicy, you might use the whole one. And then we're going to use another superfood is some ginger. And ginger is just that wonderful, almost secret ingredient you can use in a lot of foods that will enhance the flavor, but it doesn't just taste like ginger unless you put a lot. We're going to add the crema, the cream part of it. You can use anything. You could use heavy cream. You could use milk even. I like using the little bit of yogurt with flavor just because it's kind of a sneaky little awesomeness. It's fruity with the little bit of blueberry flavor. It's just something I tried this time, and it was really good. I didn't even taste blueberry, but the flavor was really wonderful. So we're going to bring it all together. Doesn't take very long. And then you can see that it's done. So we can put that to the side in a bowl. And now we're going to check this out. Here is a cool presentation cut. This can help you get more flavor in there. And it's kind of mimicking having scales on your fish. So it's up to you, but 3 cuts through it does the job. Now here's something probably a lot of y'all have not done for a style of baking any type of fish. You don't have to just use this for salmon. But we're going to get some olive oil into a casserole dish, and we're going to cover it completely. And then we're going to use kosher salt. I would encourage all of y'all to throw away your old table salt. I know about the iodine. Fine. But kosher salt doesn't taste like salt. That's why restaurants and chefs use it. It enhances flavor without making your food salty. So if you're an old school cook, keep going for it. I'm totally with you. I believe in having traditions, but for the young cooks and all, I would highly encourage you to start using kosher salt or sea salt and forget about table salt because it's just salty. So we're going to put it on a wire rack. This is a cool thing. We're going to create a convection, you can say. The heat's going to be able to get all the way around the fish. It's going to cook quicker this way, which is good. We don't want the fish to stay in the heat for a long time. It's essentially drying out every second it's in the oven more than it needs to be. So we painted on our teriyaki sauce. I have a link below that'll have all of these individual areas that we're doing here explained, and also have a homemade teriyaki recipe for you. So it's going to take about 12 to 13 minutes. I put the water in there because it's going to help protect the fish while it cooks. It's going to steam it from underneath, and when it comes out, you'll be able to see that water, it's not as much as you put in. So the quinoa is done. If there's a little bit of residual liquid in there, just turn on the heat a little bit higher and let it cook off. So when we cook the quinoa while we're prepping everything else, we're on like a medium-low heat, closer to the low side. So here's some cool plating stuff. Not going to do a whole lot of this, so I'll make a video on plating. But grabbing a cucumber like this, or even a zucchini cucumber, works better. You can do a lot of things here. So we're going to use it for visual, but you can actually take it and like curl it up into like little cones and put things like ricotta cheese or whatever you want inside of it and really have fun with your plating. You're having like a little lunch party and you want the little tea sandwiches and then something fresh, you can take the cucumber and put some really anything like fruits, berries. It looks really nice, so it gives that presentation. So we're going to still use some of the cucumber. We're doing a brunoise cut here. This is just a fancy chef cut where we're making little squares. But they're perfect little squares. Some of us like to do the plating things and make things look really nice. So this is the technique. You might want to watch it more than once. Maybe you get it the first time. But the key is the long cuts. We're not sawing anything. We're trying to push forward, let the knife work for us. It's sharp, and it's really cool. We're going to take this, and we're going to integrate it with some tomato and into our quinoa. We're going to have a fresh salad, and we're actually going to chill it. And then we're going to get to the plating part here in just a moment. So as to adding the tomato, it's going to add a little bit of acidity and a little bit of sweetness. It's going to bring the quinoa salad together. And then the cucumber is very fresh. And when it's chilled, it's a really nice contrast to our warm fish. It's playing with temperatures, not just textures. So this is a very chef-minded dish that would make a great date night dish. And it's honestly easy and very affordable. So we're getting our avocado crema on the plate. I like using a dark plate in this case because of the colors. And don't swirl it out too far, but we're trying to make sure that the swirls are evident and thinking about how big our piece of fish is so that it will look nice. We're going to take our quinoa salad, which we chilled down. So once everything was incorporated as far as the tomato, the cucumber, and the quinoa, we put a bowl with ice underneath it, and we let it chill while we finished everything up. And then our piece of cucumber went down. We put our quinoa there and then back on top. So this is very easy, but it has a big reward because it looks really nice. So now now this is not the same this is fresh teriyaki sauce. So don't paint teriyaki on that you used from the same bowl before because it was raw fish. So here's the idea what you can do with the cucumber. See how cute that is, how easy it is, how elegant it can be. You could take like 3 or 4 of those and put them on their side like a cylinder and then put the fish on top of it so you could see into each one of the cylinders. That's a cool idea. You could do this anyway. You could take the fish and turn it 90 degrees so you have the cucumber going the other way. It's just a matter of preference. Microgreens, you can find them everywhere. Very easy these days. And this is the chef side of it. A little bit of acid to wake everything up and bring the dish together. You can probably hear them say that on Food Network all the time because it really helps. And we have a wonderful dish, y'all. I hope y'all try this. Please come back and tell me what you think. If you have any questions or would like to have another tip on a plating idea, anything you like, or if you would like to suggest a video that I do for you, I'm here for you. I'll do all that for you. So please come join us on social media. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button and the bell so you know when we post new content. And y'all have the best. Take care.